In life, there are moments when the weight of despair feels insurmountable, when goals seem distant and impossible, mere specks on a horizon blurred by uncertainty and self-doubt. Yet, within these moments, the seeds of transformation are often sown. The journey from despair to success rarely begins with grand gestures or sweeping changes. Rather, it starts with the smallest of steps, incremental actions that, over time, accumulate into profound progress. This is the story of how setting goals in the midst of despair, and pursuing them one small step at a time, became the foundation for lasting success. There was a time when every morning felt like a battle. The alarm would ring, and instead of leaping out of bed, I would linger under the covers, dreading the day ahead. The tasks I faced seemed overwhelming, and my mind was clouded with uncertainty. I questioned my abilities, my worth, and the possibility of ever achieving the dreams I once held dear. It was during these darkest hours that the concept of goal setting became both a lifeline and a challenge. Initially, the idea of setting goals felt almost laughable. How could I think about aspirations when I could barely muster the energy to get through the day? But as I searched for ways to escape the quicksand of despair, I realized that the act of setting even the smallest goal could serve as a beacon, a tiny flickering light guiding me forward. So, I decided to start as small as possible. My first goal was not to conquer the world, but simply to get out of bed and make it. It may seem trivial, but for me, it was a victory. With that first step, I discovered the power of incremental progress. Each day, I set one small, achievable goal. Some days, it was as simple as taking a shower or going for a short walk. Other days, it involved reaching out to a friend or reading a few pages of a book. These goals were not meant to impress anyone else. They were designed to help me reclaim control over my life, one moment at a time. As I accomplished each tiny milestone, I felt a growing sense of self-efficacy. Success, I realized, is not always measured by the magnitude of our achievements, but by the consistency of our efforts. As weeks passed, these small steps began to accumulate. The act of setting and achieving micro-goals became a habit, a rhythm that infused my days with purpose and structure. Gradually, I started to set slightly bigger goals. I enrolled in an online course, determined to learn a new skill. I began journaling, reflecting on my thoughts and feelings, and setting intentions for the future. With each accomplishment, my confidence grew. The despair that once dominated my life started to recede, replaced by a quiet, steady hope. One of the most transformative realizations was understanding that setbacks were not failures, but opportunities for growth. There were days when I stumbled, when I could not complete the goals I had set for myself. In the past, I would have allowed these moments to fuel my self-doubt. But through this process, I learned to view setbacks with compassion, as natural parts of the journey. I reminded myself that progress is rarely linear, and that every attempt, successful or not, was a step forward. As my resilience strengthened, I began to reimagine what success could look like. No longer was it a distant dream reserved for the lucky or the exceptional. It was something I could build, brick by brick, through consistent effort. I started to set long-term goals, goals that once felt impossible. I aspired to complete my education, to pursue a meaningful career, to cultivate relationships that nourished my soul. Each long-term goal was broken down into manageable steps, and each step was celebrated as a victory. The process of goal setting in despair taught me several invaluable lessons. First, clarity is essential. In moments of darkness, it is easy to feel lost, to wander aimlessly without direction. Setting specific, measurable, and attainable goals provides a roadmap, a way to navigate through uncertainty. Second, flexibility is crucial. Life is unpredictable, and rigid plans often crumble under pressure. By remaining adaptable, I learned to adjust my goals in response to changing circumstances, without losing sight of my broader vision. Third, accountability matters. Sharing my goals with trusted friends and mentors helped me stay motivated and focused. Their encouragement provided a source of strength on days when my resolve faltered. I also learned to hold myself accountable, to track my progress, and to celebrate my achievements, no matter how small. Most importantly, I discovered that self-compassion is the foundation of sustainable success. In the face of despair, it is easy to be harsh and critical, to magnify our shortcomings and dismiss our strengths. But true transformation begins with kindness, by acknowledging our efforts, forgiving our mistakes, and honoring our journey. As months turned into years, the small steps I took during those challenging times laid the foundation for achievements I once thought unattainable. I completed my degree, secured a fulfilling job, and built relationships that enrich my life every day. The path was not always smooth, and there were moments when despair threatened to return. But the habits of goal setting, incremental progress, and self-compassion remained my allies. Looking back, I am grateful for the lessons learned in the depths of despair. I now understand that success is not a destination, but a continuous journey, one that begins with a single step. The power of small goals lies in their ability to transform our perspective, to shift our focus from what we lack to what we can achieve, even in the most challenging circumstances. If you find yourself in a place of uncertainty or darkness, remember that you are not alone. The journey to success begins wherever you are, with whatever resources you have at your disposal. Start small. Set one achievable goal today, and celebrate its completion. Tomorrow, set another. Trust in the process, and allow yourself the grace to grow, stumble, and rise again. Despair may cloud our vision, but it cannot extinguish the light of hope. Through small steps, patience, and unwavering faith in our ability to change, we can transform despair into success. One goal, one moment, one day at a time.